let me tell you what we are dealing with tonight. Something very sacred. We're dealing with something very dear into people's heart. I'm talking about those that have hearts. We're dealing with a content that deals with the elder persons. Yes, indeed. National Dialogue of Older Persons. I'm not alone tonight. I'm with Gus. By the way, Gus, what is that name in full? The name, your real name, not this pavement name.
Gustavo.
Gustavo, there you are. I'm with Gustavo Trico. And but we are not alone as well. Telephonically, we are linked with a very, very special lady who's going to be joining. In fact, she is with us right now. She can hear whatever word we are saying, Gustavo. Be careful, don't say anything you cannot repeat in front of her. The name is Marianne. Marianne Cotter. Welcome, Marianne Cotter.
Thank you, sir. Good evening.
A very, very good news. Oh, I feel special today. Someone is calling me sir. It's rare that people call me that. Tonight, we welcome everyone across South Africa in all the 65 stations that we are working with. Once again, we're bringing you a very, very special topic. You know, whoever says, I cannot resonate with tonight's program, I'm not sure where they're coming from. Because all of us, we have a grandmother somewhere there that did so much for us, that did so much for our parents. We have a grandfather out there that did so much for every one of the people that I've counted, including us and our children. And we hope those that are lucky enough, they will do so much for our children. Now, Ntate Gus and Me Marianne, before we begin, I like to get the people to understand the voices of the people that we'll be working with. Just a brief background of your organization, which is Help Age International. Can you share with the people what is this? If you want, uka remixa Me Marianne, uka remixa, you can use Zulu, Xhosa, and Sesotho in your way of trying to make sure that people get to understand what is the Help Age International. But let's start, you see, with the one next to me, Gustavo. Tell us, what is the name and what is the meaning? What is the background of your organization?
Thank you very much. It's for me a privilege to be here sharing some words with you and all your audition. Help Age International is an organization that works for the rights of older people in the entire globe. It's been already 15 years working in South Africa and more than 30 years working in the entire world. We aim to advocate for the rights of older people. And as well, you mentioned we all have or we had a grandmother and a very beloved grandfather, but that doesn't mean that there are some issues according to the rights and violations of the rights of older people that make them invisible to justice, invisible to the society in this moment. So that's why we are here. We work, as I said, for the rights of older people, and as the Department of Justice have a wonderful vision, which is justice for all in South Africa. We are committed to work together for this cause.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Gus. Sis Marianne, let me invite you here to take a bite by way of explaining to the people out there what really necessitated the establishment of Help Age International.
Help Age came into being because there was a need to assist older persons. And we call them older persons, not old people, because it's a process. You are one day older tomorrow, and you keep on getting older every day. You don't become old because it then says old equals rubbish.
Yes,
And
yes,
no,
yes. I
so
like
we
that. Yeah.
So we talk about growing older. So the organization came into being to assist older persons to claim their rights. Most countries, all citizens have rights. But generally, when people become older, and certainly each country has its own definition, for ours it's turning 60, then somehow people stop recognizing that those who are over 60 are citizens. They have rights. You kind of think people look at older persons to say, hi, you've had your time. It's our time now. As long as you are a citizen of a country, it doesn't matter what your age is. You are entitled to the same rights as everybody and anybody else. So we came into being then to support those older persons whose rights were being violated and used some strategies to really advocate for the rights of older citizens in all the countries that we work in.
You see, that was so profound. That was so profound, Marianne. In Xhosa, we have a phrase. It says, "Inyathi buzoka baphambili," meaning
Yeah.
that you can only be privileged by knowing half the things you know from asking from the people that have traversed the path, meaning that people that have been there before you. I hope what we have said is going to stick in the listeners' ears and minds, because really old implies something that needs to be thrown away, something that ceases to have value. I hope people out there will not really forget this. Already, I'm taking something from tonight's program because we tend to use words loosely. Thank you very much, Sisiwam. Once again, you want to participate in this broadcast, you can call us on our toll-free number. The number is 0800 142 446. Can you repeat that number for me, sir? 0800
0800
142
142
446.
446.
Yes, even Gus knows the number. You've been working with us all these years. I'm sure you should be knowing this number now. We will share with you some of the methods that you can interact with us tonight. But to kick the ball rolling, let me just try and outline the objectives of tonight's program. Untate Victor gave me the objectives. One of those critical objectives is to educate the listeners about the Help Age International, and secondly is to raise the awareness about tonight's topic, which is National Dialogue for Older Persons. Like we have said at the beginning, this program seeks to heighten the understanding of the listeners about the work and the mandate of the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. So coincidental or incidentally, their work becomes your work. Now, one of the objectives is to highlight the progress made by this particular organization. Now, let's talk about first the successes of this organization, Help Age International. What would you outline as some of your successes?
Well, there are various, and it's very important to highlight the agreement, the memorandum of understanding we signed with the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is open to work with the people, all the South African citizens, and they were reaching for partnerships with different organizations that have experience working with different topics. And there we are. We are experts in working for the rights of older people, as my colleague Mariam mentioned. Therefore, we have signed an agreement in 2015, and we are working to in search of improvement of the service delivery standards offered to older persons in accessing justice in our courts, in the South African courts. So I think that it's one of the main highlights to mention tonight, because the national dialogue of older persons will go around all this agreement as well.
Marianne, you can add, but as you are adding, I would like you to even share with us some of the challenges you had to be confronted with, because we know starting something this big and this important, it's never easy. Maybe whilst you are putting, or you're having your inputs in terms of the successes, can you sort of close the deal by giving us a bit of the challenges you had to encounter?
Okay, thank you, Menir. Working in this sector is not easy, because somehow older persons, older citizens are not seen as interesting, not sexy enough. Aging is never the flavor of the month or the year. In reality, and I'm going to zero in into South Africa.
Yes, please.
Older persons, if you look, and I want you to think about what I'm going to say, my brother. We see them on the first of the month, the first day, because the grant is being paid. Ne?
Yes, yes.
Then the older persons are shopping, they are buying groceries for their families, and then the grant money gets finished. And then you don't see them at all until the next first day of the month. But meantime, these are human beings like you and me whose lives are continuing. We read in the papers, we hear on radios of how older persons are abused, and mostly abused in their family system. We hear of families, abogogo bathathelwa imali izizukulu. In most homes, lapho abantu abangasebenzi khona, you have ugogo nomdende wakhe being the only source of income. Abese uthathelwa kugogo ukuthi letha wena. Angithi simbiza ukuthi ugugile, and we said the into ezigugileyo ziyalahlwa nje. So these are the challenges, and yet in our society we don't talk about challenges, andithi ziyafihlwa kalokhu ngamahlazo la. So kuyafihlwa. So Tina, we have engaged with older persons through a project eyona le ecover zonke lezi zinto ezikhulunywa ngogazi. It is strengthening the voice of the older persons in South Africa. Bafundisile omakhulu nabo mkhulu uthi mabasebenzise izwi labo bakhulume ngazo lezi zinto. Awunakuthi uhlukunyezwe ngumntwana unothula nje. Fanele ukhulume and use the services which our government has put in place to deal with abuse. But then the first point of abuse is ekhaya. And yes, ngonsundu izinto lezi siyazifihla ndithi. I will tell you more, but let me stop there.
Thank you very, very, very much. I can see, and I'm picking up that really, to you, this is not a job. To you, this is a calling. And at this point, we invite the callers, whether you have a grandmother or you had a grandmother, and in fact, I doubt if there's no soul that has never had a grandmother or a grandfather. Maybe it's that time that you call and reflect. What is it, if they are there, that you do or you like doing for them? And what is it that we are missing doing with them if they've since departed? Now, Gus, share with us the nature of the programs that you are collaborating with the Department of Justice. What kinds of programs that you are doing with the Justice Department?
Okay, well, the main thing is, as I mentioned it before, is um, improving the services delivery for older persons. What we're trying to do is to develop some, in one case, communication material to be age friendly, what we call it, age friendly, accessible for older persons, in order to them to know how to proceed in case of needing protection, needing assistance from the legal system in South Africa. One hand. Then, in the other hand, we are working with the Department of Justice in terms of training. We are planning to train the court officials in terms of how to deal and how to work, how to treat older persons in a respectful way. We sometimes say we do respect our older persons, we do love our older persons, but we forget that older persons get with the time need have different needs and different requirements. So that's the two things, and the other thing is to develop a new model, which will be a new model age centric, which means that we will be caring and treating all the persons in a better and efficient way.
I so wish one of our grandmothers or grandfathers out there who's listening to this program can take this phone and start reflecting what is it that she wants to see happening, you know. Or let me ask Me Marianne. Me Marianne, for a second, transport yourself, you know, and become one of our elder persons right now. What do you think if they are to take a telephone and call this program? What do you think they would say?
Oh, that is easy. Over the last 2.5 years, I have traversed this country, going around Eastern Cape, Limpopo, KZN, and I have listened to older persons. Mm-hmm. And the few things that come through us, older persons are disrespected by young people. Abantwana basahloniphi. Mina, when I was growing up, sahlonipha abantu abakhulileyo. Sebebizwa ngamagama, kuthiwe ngamaxhegokazi, kuthiwe ngabantu abadala. When I went to the Eastern Cape, I was told very clearly, akukho nto okuthiwa ngumuntu omdala, ngabantu abakhulileyo. Ngoba bakhulile. This is where I was referring to getting older. They are older persons. Xa bebadala ke kusho ukuthi masibalahleni. Kanti ke akukho umuntu ozawulahlwa. Ngoba umuntu udalwe nguThixo, andithi? So there is so much disrespect. But you've had your time. Make nisinike nathi chance. Akukho umuntu onika omunye i-chance. Sonke sinamalungelo okuba la. This is our land. This is our country. Awunakuthi ngoba uthene 60 you lost your rights zokuba ngumuntu wakuleli lizwe. No. Ayikho na ku-constitution ukuthi your rights will cease when you turn 60. Kodwa ke lapha ekuhlaleni, that is what is happening. And older persons are really feeling frustrated that they are not respected by their families, by their and therefore young people want abababoni straight, and it's a very sore point.
I know initially I'd hoped that our grandfathers and grandmothers out there can take this phone and call. At this point, I wish to extend the same invitation to the young ones out there so that they can reflect how they've been treating other older elder persons, so that we see if there's a relationship, in how I treat my equal, how I treat my father, meaning that the person that does material things for me and the older persons. If you are young, this is not out of bounds. You can call and ask a question. By the way, if you want to interact or participate here, we're on Twitter, which is at DOJCD_ZA. It is at DOJCD_ZA. And on Instagram, we are on at DOJCD. Instagram is at DOJCD. There are so many ways that you can interact and make this your own program. Like we're saying, like history. It is said it is the necessary reflection of the past so that you are aware and you know exactly where you are going. You cannot get to where you want to be if you don't know where you are coming from. Mariana, do you think there's a relationship to that statement and how we need or we must relate to the elder persons?
You are right. And ngifuna ukuyibeka ngesintu. Uyabona ukuthi ngibe nguMariana nginje. Kusho ukuthi nginemvelaphi yami. Angithi ngingumntaka baba nomama. Ubaba nomama ngabantwana babomgogo nabomkhulu. So the story goes on. Therefore, the values zasefamilini ngisthatha ku mama nobaba. Kodwa nabo bazithethe kuphi kubogogo nabomkhulu. So those are the custodians, zama values ethu as a family, zama values ethu as a society. So yibo abantu abasifundisayo. In our culture, xa kunomcimbi kuyabuzwa abantu andithi kuthiwe senze njani. So if you don't have those older persons who have their wisdom, who have seen life, how do you do those things? And by the same token, we have a responsibility to be passing those values, zona values zobuntu, to the communities. And zikala ekhaya, ngomama nobaba, ngabogogo nabomkhulu. And I want to actually be very practical, but in a sensitive way. Originally, ugogo nabomkhulu, they were abogogo nomkhulu. But because of the scourge of AIDS, each generation, abazali balabantwana abancane passed on. So gogo and mkhulu find themselves looking after children who lost their parents. They are the breadwinners. They are providing for these kids. They are the ones now who are passing on the values to this next generation. Retirement is isikhathi sokuthi ngabe bayaphumula, uyazi nje kube mnandi, but akusekho mnandi, amadolo abuhlungu ngoba ugogo ufanele ehle enyuka ehambisa umntwana eclinic ngoba umama walomntwana or ubaba walomntwana washona. So those are the ugly realities. Recently we had a meeting la Pretoria where we were consulting with older persons ukuthi what are the real issues. And one of the issues that came through was the burden of care, that older persons don't have time to themselves. They have suddenly become parents of young children. And yet they did their duty. They brought up their own kids. Those kids have gone and left younger children who must be taken care of.
Wow.
And with their meager pension, people complained that, now we have to pay fees. Now we have to run households, which is not what we're supposed to do. So, and that, my dear, is the reality of most grandparents.
Wow. You see, Marianne, every time you open your mouth, I mean, you are leaving us with so many profound lines. People have responded. We requested people to call. Right now, we are going to Eastern Cape. Alwa North is Lebogang. And immediately after Lebogang, we are going to Pietermaritzburg to mark in that order. Lebogang, we are on air.
Can you want that? Waphila look.
Umnati ndwate kujwang.
I'm not different. Man, jauka me o bua modo ke na le putso tse pedi fela o e tsale na putso abanye abantu kuna abantu ke abahlala kwi old age homes, and then njengoba behlala kwi old age homes bavele abantwana babo babacela okanye abazukulwana babo babatela, then kabaswelekayo ufumana bangoku ingxaki ibekwa apha kwabantu aba abahlala kubo old age homes. So bancedakala njani ke abantu abanjalo? Umbuzo wami wesibini ke Lennox uthi ngiyaqala uyiva ke mina kwamnalo i-program efana nale ingaba kwi-rural areas ngoba ezinto ezi zithatha ixesha elide phambi zifike kuthi asazi bayiqale nini, asazi manje awuphela nini, but esibuzwa izawufikela nini apho kwenzela abantu balapha kwi-rural areas bakwazi ukufundiswa ngazo, bathi bothi bona ibe irinta yabona una especially kanjalo ka di-program tsabona.
Loud and clear, Ntate Lebogang. We will try and get our guest to respond to your question. At this point, let's go to Pietermaritzburg. And Ntate Mark, you are on air.
Ngiyabonga msakazi, ngilalela kuMgungundlovu 107.6 FM, the sound of choice of KZN Capital.
We agree, it is indeed.
Umbuzo wami wokuqala nami umfethu losanda kuphuma, nami ngicela ukubuza ukuthi le program ngoba siyazi ukuthi seyintsha ifinyelela kanjani endaweni zasemakhaya, ngoba izinto eziningi zibuya sengathi zigcina emadolobheni amakhulu ukuthi abantu bekwazi ukuthi ba-educate emadolobheni amakhulu, bese ukuthi indawo lezi ezisemakhaya kuyizindawo ezilahlelwe ngaphandle ugovernment angafinyeleli kuzona. Yikuphi akwenzayo ukuthi asebenzisane mhlambe namakhansela akhona endaweni noma namakhosi eindawo ukwazi ukuthi umphakathi ufundiseke? Uzoqala loyo. Owesibili engikhala ngakho kakhulu, ogogo isikhathi esiningi ibona ba ama-grade winners endaweni emakhaya isikhathi esiningi. Uthola ukuthi la amadodakazi ashiye ingane eziningi ayishiya nogogo, ogogo abondla ingane. Yikuphi ugovernment akubhekelelayo ukuthi ogogo laba abondlayo emakhaya bekwazi ukuthi imali yabe ikhushule futhi imonitor akwazi ukuthi abasize nabo? Ngiyabonga le emsakazweni uMgungundlovu FM.
Thank you. Very profound questions indeed. You see, to you, both of our important guests, the advantage of this program, the feedback is immediate. You don't have to go back there and wait for 3 months to assess what was the impact or what other people think of the program and the content. For instance, judging from the two listeners here, they are implying that these programs are not in the rurals. You might be having these programs there, but they are not as visible as they're supposed to be. Can you take the questions, Marianne, and then we can come back to you. Your advantage is you are here in the studio. You see, my Marianne is out there, so we're going to be biased in favor of her. But Marianne, did you get the questions?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Ulebogang ukhuluma ngabantu abakhulileyo abashiwa ku old age homes. And bashiwa lapho zi-families zabo. Bese kuba yinto le engikhulume ngayo ukuthi ube sengathi bayalahlwa lapho. So umthwalo lwano besinawo kagogo sesiulahlele ngale. And yet that is not the purpose ka old age home. I-old age home ifakelwe lapho ukuthi isilekelele ukuthi ugogo singamshiyi eyedwa kungenamuntu omkhuselayo ekhaya. Ube endaweni esafe lapha zabhekwa khona, lapha zanakwa khona, lapha zanikwa ukudla, lapha zanikwa amayeza, if edinga ukuthi aphuze amayeza. But ke ifamily zimane zithi yo relief bamlahlele kugogo lapho bangabe besaza nje nokuthi bambone uthini. And that is neglect. Ngifuna ukuyibeka nje kahle. That is neglect. Ukuthi umlahlele ugogo wakho laphana wamshiya wangazayobona umcheck. Ugogo uyalidinga uthando. Ugogo uyadinga ukufudumala kwefamily yakhe. Ukuthi institution akusho ukuthi ifamily yakhe imlahle. She needs that care, she needs that love. It's unfortunate ke ukuthi older people bagcina befa, like I'm hearing from Nobukhang, and then there are problems of bearing. I'm not quite sure then what happens if they are dying in the institutions, but I do know from some engagement with some institutions, older persons institutions, that they should contact the next of kin who has a responsibility. You are not abdicating your responsibility by placing your parent in an old age home. So, kufanele ukuthi kuthathwa amanyathelo ifamily institution ibingcinele, but ngoba manje umuntu omdala usethulile akagcinwe akalondolozwe kahle. Right, coverage, coverage.
Yes, our presence in the rural areas.
Right, I'm going to be very specific. Galena engikhuluma ngayo is strengthening the voice. KZN sengifaka no insizwa yase Pietermaritzburg. Sisemajuba district baba. KZN. Kulapho esiqale khona ukusebenza. Eastern Cape sise Alfred Nzo, sise Amathole. eGauteng sise Tshwane, eLimpopo sise Waterberg, and enye nje iyangiphunyuka. We are not everywhere. The project besiqala in these districts, but in this district sisebenza emakhaya, sisebenza ezilalini. We work with the government offices or district social worker or so that when these problems arise, we link and refer abantu abakhulileyo to these institutions to assist ogogo nabomkhulu with their problems. I think ngisikhaze zonke. Okay, uthi abantwana bashiya abogogo babashiye nezizukulu. It's a tragedy. It's everywhere. Everywhere that I've gone, I had that problem. And butata ko re le rona re le batswadi and jwale ke bolela le bagodi. Gore bagodi le rona re etsa diphoso bana beso. Ha motho a o siela masia a tsamaya ka dikarete tsa bana tsa motende. A siya go sina dijo. Fela le thola le sa bolele ka gona le re gwetsuweng. Because kana dikarete tse tsa motende di tshwanetse di thuse gore bana ba krele besenyana ba kre motogo. Mara bana ba tsamaya ka karete. Abantsa gona motende kwa o golang teng a le ko toropong a sa rumele fela le packet ya bupi. So kukuge abatsa pension nyana ele ya hae a reka motogo a reka lebisa a reka bupi kwa tlhaela. Nna ke ha ngwana ha wa editse jwalo bolela le social worker. Le watsibise bo social worker ba tseba gore ba etse. It's not right gore kuku a fepe motho a gola motende o le kwa gore a tlhokomele ngwana. A tsewa gore a lokise meriri le manala gore a tlhokomele ngwana. Fela batswadi ke rona re patang taba ya ha re bolele itswa ga se ke eme mo pela bona bo kokolo bo mkhuluru a ke le mpotseng mathata a bona o bo bona ba swaba ba re wait ausma bathong so ke problem mara ke a kopa tswetswe gore a bolelwe taba hiyo bolelang le bo social worker le thusiwe. Ke taema mo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Me Marianne. I challenge at this point the community radio stations. Let your responsibility not be sitting behind the microphone and play this nice music that you play. Assume the responsibility, take charge. Become one of the social activists. You need to know in your area of distribution, area of broadcast, how many older persons that are there. Make it your business every day to go there and check what is it that I can do as the community radio station to make sure that we've made our contribution today. We've made sure that we left a smile in our elder persons that are near our radio station. We have so many radio stations. There are over 288 across the country. At least you can make your mark. Tate Ross, we have Natasha. Natasha wants to ask you a question. Natasha, you're on air from Calvania. Very important.
Hello.
Hi, Natasha.
Good evening, Gustav Morel. No, I don't have a question. I just have a comment.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for a good program. I'm fortunate to still have both my grandmothers alive. One is 75 and the other one is 81. So we say life gets in the way and we don't spend enough time with them. But I think it's necessary for people like Marianne and Gustav, and I want to salute them for the good job that they are doing looking out for our older people. So yeah, we as kids and grandkids, we need to spend more time with them because at the end of the day, we lose a lot of time. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Leonard.
Thank you very, very much, Natasha. You see, when we look back and say, this program, did it make any meaningful, qualitatively and quantitatively to the listeners out there? We're able to say, Natasha called, and this is what Natasha said. And we can imagine how many people out there that are sharing the same sentiments as Natasha. Thank you very much, Natasha. Let's go to Ubabutsele Empangeni. Okay, Babutsele, siyakubona uyagijima uyabaleka. At this point in Tatikas, so much was said that had to do with the people abusing the significance of the old age homes. They are taking these institutions, old age home, as a place where they can drop and live and forget their old people, their old persons, their grandmothers, their grandfathers. What is it that you can say to discourage these people from this misuse and this abuse?
Yes, thank you. It's what we were saying about the love and care about our older people. Sometimes the reality is completely different, and as Mariam said, in the entire country, atrocities are happening, and it's time to give back the love. These older people shelters, the main intention is fantastic, it's great, but it's for some people it's an excuse to, like you said, to get rid of older people, and that it's absolutely unacceptable. What we have to do here is to educate ourselves, to sensitize about what is the meaning of real life and the rights of older people. We don't lose our rights while growing old. We are people with the same rights, and we have the right to be happy, to be protected, to be in family and in friends. And what Natasha mentioned, it's very true, and thank you very much. Natasha said that we need to take more time to be with our beloved. And it's true. It's time to give back all the love that they gave us during all those years. It's true. But now, in terms of the problems of the abuse that it's happening in a daily base, it's this where we have to learn what the older people say, and that is the intention of this national dialogue of older people. what we're doing, working with the Department of Justice, is to call all the people, representatives from the 9 provinces, to tell us, to teach us about these situations, what is happening in the daily base, what are the challenges that they are facing when they need to be protected in their own family and their communities, and also when they need to assistance from the police, assistance from the legal system. What we want with this dialogue is to come together and sit in a table, all the people, and people from the different departments, Department of Justice, Department of Health, Department of Social Development, also the South African police, and gather, understand, and learn the reality that is happening with older people.
Thank you very much. You see, it's like today was so lucky. Our guests are so deep, so profound, and it's like it tells you more and more why we need to do programs of this nature. Babutsele, usemsakazweni baba, ungabuza umbuzo.
Yebo.
Yes, we are on air, sir. You can ask a question.
Ngizulu kulungile ngithi.
Kulungile baba.
Ngiyabonga. Cha ngithangibuza angibuze lapha ngifundisa ukuthi nginenkinga lapha ngicabanga ukuthi inkinga abantu abaningi bendaba ukuthi over 60 njengamanje. Ngiyabona sengumkhulu.
Over 60.
Manje khona into ezenzekayo ukuthi manje angiyitholi impesheni. Impesheni angiyitholi ifana ngabe ngiyahola. Ngisebenza enkampanini yami for 34 years. Inkampani le ngisebenza kuyo. Kodwa ngenxa ukuthi manje owamsebenza kuhulumeni angikwazi ukuthola impesheni. Manje inkinga enayo umama umuzi wonke yonke into kanti kuba impesheni ngiyayithola mina njengomuntu nami olophuzile ngabe ngibanalo usizo. Manje ngithi bengibheka ukuthi kumele bakithi ngeke nkothani ngoba adiningethwa sizweni ukuthi mina ngoba ngangikhokha intela ngisebenza for lonke lo 34 years yini amalungelo ami angawanaki ukuthi ngikwazi nami ukuthi ngithole impesheni. Bonke abantu abaningi bakhala kuyimanje nje kuthiwa ngeke ngikwazi ukuthola impesheni kanti ngiyayidizeva ngoba phela ngisebenzile futhi mina angilokhuzi angisebenzi kuhulumeni ngoba phela uma kunjalo unkosikazi yanginika impesheni manje akulula ngoba naye uyena ondla ekhaya. Yilokho ngithi angibuze mhlonishwa.
Uyabona ke awulahlekanga baba utsele nangona ukuthi le program lena ya tonight asidili ngama pension but umuntu akanamgomo akunalapho silahla khona umuntu. We are government that is responsive, government that cares, because government is one. But before I suggest what we are going to do about your case, let's hear from our guests what they think we can do about your case. But we'll keep your case in the back of our minds, and we do have your number. But at this point, mamela nje msakazweni baba, let's go sothatha omunye umlaleli umashome from Fred and Dal. Mashome on air.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yebo
Baba.
Kunjani Nkosi yami?
Kuyalunga kunjani baba?
Hayi ngilalele la eduze kwaseNamibe Fred and Dal.
Enamiba.
Eduze kwakhona not far kakhulu.
Uthi ukuthi wena umamela ngepassport baba, unepassport. Okay, let's hear. Yeah.
Ngicela ukuthi lento yena ngasemakhaya mani ihambe iyofika nangasemakhaya. Ngeke ngathi ngisekhaya ngibona umuntu omdala ethi uyovula icala. Asemaphoyisa akavula i-protection order bakhulume njengomndeni. Kanti abantu abadala bahlukumezeka in terms of these things abakhuluma ngayo. Siyalibonga lo hlelo yazi.
Thank you. Was that all, sir?
Yeah, ilokho nje ngifuna ukudlulisa.
Thank you. What I like about that, sir, it's something that was said by another caller, but to us, it tells us it is very serious, and it's spread throughout South Africa. We are not going to say, no, don't ask that, someone ask. It means we are given this organization a mandate. We are saying to them, go out there right now and spread your wings. You've counted areas where we are operating from. People are saying it's not enough. Where they are, they see these terrible things that are happening to elder persons. They're saying now, go out there and do something to make sure that you are visible. Someone is going to have to give you money. Maybe this is the time that you take this program to the people that are funding you and say to them, listen, it's not us. People are demanding this service. But let's go to Thabo. I'm sure right now we are thinking, what is it that we're going to say to these callers who want us there yesterday? Thabo Zipatiela, you are on air.
re a loja leno
Re a loja ntate, go jwang?
re gona
A monate man.
le ba di guest tsa gago ntate Gustavo
A ba utlwa kutukutu ntate.
aha leno ke reality a ke re ntate Gustavo ke mo kweleng tsa bolela ka reality lo ke di diragalang go batho ba bagolo.
Yes.
The reality go re lo ke di a diragala batho ba bagolo ba ile batho ba CPF le maphodisa ba ile ba dia di awareness ona mo Sibitiela ba diela batho ba ile gore ba gekolo ba le gore bana le bolwetse ba Alzheimer ba ba botsa gore go ka bona mogekolo a sepela on the street without clothes doesn't mean gore she's a witch, but people get to ban the older people calling them witches. So ke the reality lo re a diragala. So ba health age organization bona, how are they going to help with kind of situation? They lo re tsamogela tsona go protect about information.
You see, in Thabo, we are raising things that we see. There's this publication that I don't want to mention. It writes about those stories almost every day. At this point, Ntatikas, take a bite. Take whatever question you want to respond to.
Yes, well, thank you very much, Thabo. I understood what your concern is, and as a HelpAge International, what we do is we work with local organizations as well, and not only local organizations, but the media, the academia. We all have to be involved, and we all have to be committed, because it's our own life. We will be older people, older persons someday. So what we need to do is commit ourselves. It's think about what we are doing in a daily basis. When we talk to an older person, talk to them respectfully. We mentioned before that the radio is a wonderful, wonderful channel to spread the word, to raise awareness about the rights of older people. We shouldn't have to raise awareness. We should all be aware already that we are the same human beings that have rights, and that we have to be respected and respect everybody as equals. So our work is not only as an organization, but it is as individuals, and as we need to work together to really, really find an equal and fair society for all.
Thank you very much, guys. Marianne, let's go back. I know we might not have answers for Untatu Tsele that was trying to establish how best he can be assisted in terms of his pension and all that stuff. But I suggested that perhaps after having heard what you need to say or you want to say to her, we might give him a suggestion or two. You can attempt to address his question.
Okay. Yes, I will do that, and the other matters that the other colleagues talked about.
Thank you.
Ubaba uthele, I think mina bengizothi akaye kwa-Labour. Ngoba yibo abanolwazi ngezindaba zabasebenzi. There I think he will find expert help ukuthi indaba yakhe le ayikho mnandi and angiqali ukuyizwa. As we go around the countries bayasho abantu ukuthi sengifike kwa-60 uma ngithi ngicela ipension angitholi ngoba umlingani wami usasebenza une-income. And so anginalwazi kakhulu, but mina bengizothi mhlawumbe ubaba ucele akaye e-Labour athole usizo ukuthi manje zihanjiswa njani lezo. Ngizodlula. Uyabona ke my brother, you are very privileged. Sengokhuluma isiphizi lapho. You are sitting with Gustavo. He is the guy who designed a brochure teaching older persons how to apply for a protection order.
Aibo, did you do that? Huh?
Thank you, Mama.
Modest. He's very modest. He's not going to talk about it. I am telling South Africa, we have designed, and really the lead man is Gustavo sitting there with you.
In fact, I'm looking at this right now. I'm looking at this right now.
He's blushing, eh?
Very much so. You know your colleague very well.
we are a great team. So that brochure is going to be circulated widely so that older persons know how to apply for a protection order. And they follow through the steps. He has made it very easy. We pilot tested it with older persons who told us, yeah, the English is simple, the writing, the font size is proper. So it's there, South Africa. We are really busy circulating it so that if you need to get a protection order, please follow those steps.
Wow.
But then again, you have to follow all the processes. Ngoba abogogo nabomkhulu, they apply for a protection order and then banikwe i-date yokuthi bazeke kuzokhulunywa and abasayi. Msizeni bandla, we need to follow these things through ukuze ogogo nabomkhulu bakhuseleke. Then uThabo ukhuluma ngo-Alzheimer. Angibuyele kuwe mfowethu. Ngikale ngithi uyabona ukuthi indaba ye-aging is big. There is no way we can talk about aging issues in one program. So I'm asking already that I think you need to schedule a few more sessions where we can talk about these things. But in our societies, we have older persons suffering from diseases that are associated with aging, or Alzheimer, the one he mentioned, or dementia, wherein older persons forget. They can't remember things that have happened. And sometimes their memory is stuck onto one or two events. They behave in a manner that is slightly different. And you know what happens? They get diagnosed by the community. Gogoki mulozi, utwaregile, limboni, yena ofedisembatho. And you've heard of these stories where older women have been killed because they are being accused of witchcraft. Ngiyacela bandla, angazi anginalwazi lokuthi ayikho witchcraft or ikhona. Mina ngizokhuluma ukuthi there are these diseases or dementia or Alzheimer where all people forget and they need to be helped, not to be killed and be accused of witchcraft. So he says, what are we doing? And Gus has talked about this. We work with all kinds of organizations. We create awareness. One thing that we didn't talk about much, again, because there's so much to talk about, is that we have what we call an intergenerational approach. So we work with young people, young. Ngoba they are going to go through the aging process. We start teaching young people to understand that aging is a process. It's not an event. You are born, you are 1 day old, and you grow and you become 1 day old, and you grow and you become 7, and you become a teenager, a youth, middle aged, and then you become an older person. So it's a process that takes years.
Bona ke mawam. Ukarabo is telling me that side. Ukarabo omyumfana so udlalela any team edliwayo as we are talking. Is Sundowns, idliwa Kaizer Chiefs, very important team. Umtshela ukuthi there's one caller because our time is up. Let's give him an opportunity to say something. We're going to Alwa North once again to Patco.
Mulweni bawulena kusikunjani?
Kumnandi kunjani tata?
Ndiyaphila nami ndiyabulisa kwindwendwe esikhoyo nawo apha eMgqubeni. Ndifuna unyathela pha kumazweli kabe kwangibawule kwangikhasile. Amabini amathathu. Mna ndizawunqala ngqapha ithole lifele khona. Ndifuna ukuqonda mna kwindawo esihlala kuzo. Kukho abantwana abo kumana ukuthi bahlala nomakhulu. Umama uyazihlalela notata wabo mhlambe abekho kwalapha eAlwa North. And then ke ngokufumana ukuthi le mali yendodla kamakhulu kulomntana lo eyicontrolayo uyahamba uzenza mhla zithengela izinto ukuthi umakhulu akabenefit kwaphela kule mali yakhe yendodla ubona nje ukutha yonke lo nto leyo. Ingaba ke ngoku i-department okanye umama uMarian kuquka notata uTreko zeziphi okanye yiphi into abangayidlalayo in order ukuthi umama aphile ngendlela efanelekileyo imali yakhe ayifumani iphelele. Umbuzo wami wesibili ufuna uqonda ukuba ingaba kwicala bakhona omatshonisa amakhadi omama ahlala koomatshonisa ngeyiphi into abangayiguqulayo ukuthi la makhadi omama bethu okanye omakhulu bethu angahlali koomatshonisa. Ndiyabulela kakhulu ngizamamela ntakalani khona.
Thank you very, very much, Patco. Before I give you an opportunity to answer and you conclude the program tonight, I want you to say to Tatutsele, we've got your numbers, Tatutsele. We know at times it is a problem to go to these departments. We will assume the responsibility as GCIS and the Department of Justice to call the Department of Labor and say we're the program and this is what the caller said. We give them time to come back to us. This is what we do here. We say after 2 days, we will call you and check if you contacted Tatutsele and if you have resolved their case. That is the advantage of these programs. Tatutsele, we will call on your behalf. You don't have to move an inch. Don't go anywhere. At this point, Marianne, your parting note, and in the process, you can respond to the caller.
Bandla, aging is a huge topic. Let's keep talking. I'm glad Kalile. I hope this is not the end. We must continue to talk about these things because they are real. Ubaba uthi abantu bahola ugogo imali yakhe iyacontrol. Guys, this is where we said talk to your social worker. Kukhona ama-social development officers lapha ekuhlaleni. They are very supportive. Let's go to them. Let's tell them our problems, and they will assist as much as possible. Ngezinto lezi zama-grants abuswayo. Ubaba ukhuluma ngani ngama-cards la abekwa kubomashonisa. This is a huge topic which we must have 2 or 3 entire programs on them. Ngoba ukuze lezo cards zishiwe ngabomatshonisa ukuthi ugogo nomkhulu bathethe i-wallet. Uyangithola?
Hayi uVictor umamele. uVictor is going to make it happen. He's going to hook us up with another slot or 2.
Exactly, ngiyacela Victor. Kufanele indaba le zixazululwe ngoba izindaba zabomkhulu nabogogo ziningi. Sifuna futhi njoba sizikhuluma futhi sifundisane ngayo le process.
Thank you. Sisi wami, sesindlulile na kusikhathi besisinikwa sona station. At this point ndifuna ukunika ubhuti wami lapha uGas to give us the parting note. And in fact, Marianne, you did not say bye-bye to your listeners.
Oh,
Already your
Sandra,
listeners love you. Say bye-bye to them.
Sandra, it was such a pleasure. I'm looking forward to having more sessions with you. Nintanda nonke, mwah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Iswam. Gus.
Just to say thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for the support, and think that life is very short, and each moment is very valuable. We need to live it the most and live it with all respect. Peace on earth.
On that note, we have come to the end of our special broadcast brought to you by Department of Justice and Constitutional Development in collaboration with GCIS. Yes, indeed, GCIS. Until we meet again on Thursday, same time, same place, it's Lennox saying bye.